Gentlemen, boys and girls, this is John Paval with Access Arts Live, bringing you a special edition to tell you all about this live stream of Pelléas et Mélisande, Claude Debussy's opera by the Vienna State Opera on Sunday, November 2nd at 6:30 in the evening, Vienna time. That will be at 12:30 on the East Coast in the U.S., 9:30 in the morning on the West Coast, 3:30 late at night down under in Australia, Australian Eastern Standard Time. No, Daylight Time, Australian Eastern Daylight Time, because they're going into their summer. Anyway, I'm doing this very late night here in Europe, in Paris, France. It's almost 1 in the morning, but I'm up late anyway because the Detroit Symphony Orchestra is going to be live streaming in about 10-15 minutes, so I don't want to miss that. But I'm here to tell you about this great live stream. You know, it's a terrific symphony, and I mean, it's a terrific opera house, and they have a stellar international cast from Mexico, the United States, Great Britain, and France assembled. So what I want to do is take you through it. The way I usually do this thing is I take you through it by telling you the story and then plugging in who's singing each of the roles in the story as we go through it. And not telling you too much to ruin it, but telling you enough so that, well, if you know the opera, you don't need me to tell you anything about the story. And if you don't know it, you don't want me to ruin it by giving away all the twists and turns that take place in it. I do want to mention the conductor is Alain Altinoglu, and he's a top conductor who has, in terms of opera houses, he has worked with the New York Met, the Chicago Lyric Opera, the Teatro Colón in Buenos Aires, the Berlin Deutsche Oper, etc., etc. And so you have a sure man wielding the baton for this. And the stage direction is done by a veteran of the Vienna State Opera House. So let me try telling you a little bit about the story, just sort of phrase by phrase, and then tell you who's singing and give you a little bit of background on it. And that may help you decide whether or not you really want to watch it. But what you're going to find is this is really a top cast. So this story takes place in a mythical kingdom called Allemonde, which sounds suspicious. Monde in French means world, and Alle in German means everything. So Allemonde is kind of a mix. It was based on a stage play by Metternich, which Claude Debussy saw back in the 1890s, and he really liked it, so he wanted to make it into an opera. I will tell you that there was a falling out between Metternich and Debussy over the opera because Metternich wanted a particular woman to sing the role of Mélisande, and Debussy didn't go along with it. So there was the opening was not all sweetness and light. Let me tell you that. But that kind of thing happens in Paris, you know. You know, this I think it was in Sacre de Printemps by Stravinsky. There was a riot after it, you know. Anyway, so in this is but this kingdom is beset with darkness. There's something wrong in it, and that's symbolized by this darkness. And it has a king. It's a kingdom, and the king is King Arkel, and the King Arkel is played by the accomplished French bass Jean Teitgen, who you see there in the pictures. But I can show you an individual picture of Jean Teitgen. It's very moody, very. This is like 1930s opera singer photo. The others will be in color. I guarantee you they'll be in the 21st century. But anyway, he recently played Arkel not long ago at the Paris National Opera, Opéra National de Paris, and he got great reviews for it. I mean, he gets great reviews for a lot of things he does. He's also known for playing the role of William Tell, that is Gessler, which he has played at the Vienna State Opera House in the past. So they know him. Started out doing bel canto and sort of lighter French lyric repertoire, but has then developed into more of the heavier roles like Banquo and Alvise and La Gioconda. He recently made his debut playing Dalan, which is a Wagner piece at the Capitole in Toulouse, which is the opera house down there in Southwest France. He's also played Salzburg a number of times. He's played Claudius in Hamlet. He's played Sarastro in The Magic Flute, and Luther or Crespel in Les Contes de Hoffmann, the stories of Hoffmann. Now, so that's that. You got a good top French bass playing the king in a Debussy piece. Hard to go wrong with that. Anyway, he has two grandsons who are half brothers. Sorry, my throat's a little dry. One of the half brothers is called Golot, and the other is Pelléas. Golot is up first. One day, Golot was out wandering around and getting lost by the waters, and he comes across this mysterious woman who's out there on a boat all by herself, which is not normal behavior in those times for women. Now, so who is playing Golot? Golot is played by an opera singer who's so august that he is now Sir Simon Keenlyside. And Simon Keenlyside is a tenor who has a lot of experience doing things like, well, playing the role of Pelléas in this piece, but he's not now. He's been around for a good 20 plus years on the boards. So, and the operas he appears with regularly are in Zurich and Barcelona, in Madrid, in Munich with the Bavarian, the Bayerische State Opera, Tokyo, New York Met, Salzburg festivals, La Scala, Paris, etc., etc. Roles he's known for as the Count of Almaviva in Figaro, Don Giovanni, Billy Budd, Papageno in the Magic Flute, Marcello in La Bohème, and he gave his debut at the Wiener Staatsoper, the Vienna State Opera, in 1999, like 25 years ago. Like I said, he's been on the boards for a while as Marcello in La Bohème. And he's played Hamlet, Eugene Onegin, and he's been Pelléas, as I mentioned. He's sufficiently distinguished that all the way back in 2003, he was appointed a commander of the Order of the British Empire by Queen Elizabeth, and in 2018, they made him a Sir. Top, very experienced guy, playing, a challenging, critical role, but it is not a winner's role. So then the question is, well, who is this mysterious woman that he runs across? And that is Mélisande. And Mélisande is played by Kate Lindsey. Here's the picture that they have up for her in the production and in the program notes. Kate Lindsey is an American mezzo. She has her own photo and page with the New York Met. Regularly sings at the New York Met, Royal Opera House, Covent Garden, in Munich at the Bavarian State Opera, or the Salzburg Festival, Glinberg Festival, the Aix-en-Provence Festival, which just received an award from up in Stockholm just a couple of weeks ago. And I forget what the name of that award is, but they gave it to the whole opera festival for its contributions to music. She made her debut with the Vienna State Opera over a decade ago, back in 2014. She's making her debut in this role to start of Mélisande to start the season. To start her season, she'll be back in Vienna playing Prince Idamante in Mozart's Inomeneo. And that's a role that she played at the New York Met a few years ago with success. So lot of intertwining between things she's done in New York, things she's done in Vienna. Later this year, she'll be at the Hamburg State Opera in Schumann's Frauenliebe und Leben, and she'll be Cherubino in Figaro in Munich with the Bavarian State Opera. Top singer. Now, I want to read for you something that she said about how she's preparing for this production to close this little background presentation for you. Anyway, the two of them, Golot and Mélisande, get married. So that's one of the half brothers Golot marries Mélisande after discovering her out in the wilds, on the water and everything. Very romantic, I guess. And then enter Pelléas. Now this is where it becomes complicated, because Pelléas falls in love with Mélisande because he's inevitably brought in contact with her, and eventually she falls in love with him, and now you have a story. What's going to happen when two brothers love the same woman? And I don't want to tell you what the rest of the story is, but I will tell you that the role of Pelléas is played by a fairly celebrated top tenor originally from Mexico, but it's not like it's still, I hesitate to say, well, a Mexican singer because he's an international singer is what he is by now. It's Rolando Villazón, and he started out in Mexico, but then went through young artist programs in Pittsburgh, at the San Francisco Opera, won about 25 years ago, won several prizes at the Operalia competition, and then started doing debuts. He had his European debut playing De Grillo in Manon, and Alfredo at the Paris National Opera. And then he was at the Berlin State Opera, but I don't want him to say the name of the piece, the opera he was in, but he was playing the character Macduff. But I'm an old actor, and it's bad luck to say the name of that production. At the Vienna State Opera, he's been there a lot. He's played Werther, Romeo, Hoffmann, Desgrieux, as I said, Alfredo, Nemorino, Rodolfo, Lenski, and Don Ottavio there. So he's an old hand at the Vienna State Opera. He's right at home, and he's one of their top people. So top international tenor on, you could call one of his home stages. And his career has been developing. He's starting to direct operas now, and he's directed operas for the Deutsche Opera in Berlin and at the Vienna Volksopera. And he's the artistic director of the Mozart Week at Salzburg. Has been since like 2017. So that's Rolando Villazón. So this is a top international cast that you have. I think they're all very happy to be in it. And here's the loving unmarried couple of Rolando Villazón and Kate Lindsey. This is opening night, the two of them. Rolando put it up on his Facebook page, so I ran across it. I thought I'd share it with you. There they are, the happy lovers, off stage, the happy artist who play the less than happy lovers, although it has twists and turns, and there are times when it looks like things are finally going to work out the right way, and I don't want to tell you if they do or not. You go and see it. Anyway, so that's what we have for you this week. I want to read for you what Kate Lindsey had to say about preparing the role, because I found it was interesting, and you may find it interesting too. She said, "As I'm singing my first Mélisande this time, I'm learning a lot in preparation for this role. I'm concentrating heavily on the comprehensibility of the text. For Debussy himself, this was of utmost importance. For this reason, he rarely lets the vocal lines run over each other. In terms of composition and theatrical practice, he saw no point in having singers sing at the same time in view of the clarity of the text. So for me, the text comes first, and I work very intensely on it. However, the music, with the frequent changes in meter and complex keys, is also a particular challenge. The preparation for Debussy is therefore extremely demanding and time-consuming, requiring enormous concentration, but it's worth it. The more I immerse myself in this score, the more I realize what a masterpiece Pelléas and Mélisande is. Folks, I commend this production to you. I think it will be a great time. I think you will really enjoy it. I was not able to find any press sizing up whether it was successful or not, but these are people who regularly are successful in their singing roles. And Rolando Villazón is, like I said, is on his home court. Kate Lindsey is doing a debut, but from I've read to you, you can see how she's throwing herself into this role, and you can count on these other performers to turn in very creditable work. So if you tune into it tomorrow, look for Access Arts Live in the chat box. No, there isn't a chat box because it's not on YouTube. I tell you what, if you do tune into it, whether you like it or not, come back to this video and let us have your comments or reactions on one, whether or not we were the ones who led you to see it, and then two, whether you liked it, didn't like it, sum it up, do your own review of it, and we'll make sure that everybody, we're on like 7 different platforms, okay? Before I go, let me remind you, if you're watching this on Facebook, like the video. If you're watching this on any of our other platforms, we're happy that so many people like our videos, but what we want you to do is follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live on Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, or LinkedIn, wherever you watch us, so that we make sure you get more than 1,000 live links to live performances like this, and orchestras and chamber music and organ recitals and piano competitions all year long. Ciao for now. I got to go catch that Detroit Symphony Orchestra live stream, which just started a few minutes ago. Bye. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy.